evening, everyone. Good evening. I know I'm quite very late. Good evening. How has your day been? Apologies. It has been a busy day. A lot of things. Yeah. Welcome to the Mentor Show. Welcome. Welcome to the Mentor Show. Welcome to those who are on YouTube. We are live. Welcome on YouTube at Africa Coaching and Mentorship Initiative. We are live on my Facebook page, Olushola Ajide. We are live, of course, on Instagram, and we are live on LinkedIn. So for those of our people who are on LinkedIn, jump into the conversation. You would have seen what we are discussing tonight. Mapping Africa's natural resources. So we are still on this issue of Africa. Mapping Africa's natural resources. So leave a comment. Leave a comment on welcome to the Mentor Show. Good morning, MCID. Good morning, welcome. Tell us where you are joining us from. Tell us where you are joining us from. Let us know where you are joining us from. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from tonight. Well, let's see. Japan, wow. Japan, interesting. My daughters will say, Konnichiwa. 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 You Japan people. Konnichiwa. Welcome. So I know apologies were late again. We are late, not again, but at least tonight. It's been a busy one. Yes. Welcome. So today, if you observe Ohio, Japan, Ohio. You never change. You are faithful to me. Faithful Lord, I worship you. I worship you. You are too faithful to fail me. You are too faithful to disappoint me. Put yourself in my life, and I'm wondering about. You're too faithful to fail me. You're too faithful to fail me. So welcome everyone. We'll just go straight into it tonight. For those of you who are on Instagram, you would observe that Instagram have made changes. So let's roll advert.
Strap yourself in because we're set up,
Welcome.
switched on and ready to go.
Hello, welcome. I'm Dr. Olushola Ajide, your host on the Mentor Show, where we inspire you, help you reinvent yourself, and to make a positive impact in your community, in your country and on your continent. We mentor people across Africa. We bring you guests with inspiring life stories who are themselves transformation agents, making a positive change in their profession and nations. Subscribe to the African Coaching and Mentorship Initiative YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the Mentors Show. Apologies again. It's been a busy day. A lot of things came up, and that's what led to us coming late to the show. We're supposed to have started at 7:15. Apologies again. I'm your host on the Mentors Show, Dr. Olushola Emmanuel Ajide. Now, on the Mentors Show is where we inspire you, and this is where we help you reinvent yourself. This is where we're giving you tips and ideas that would help you to become a better version of yourself. And more importantly, that would help you to become a change agent, that will make you to become a transformative agent in your community, in your country, and of course, on the continent wherever you dwell. Because that is what you were, I argue, you were born to do. So tonight again, we are still continuing on mapping Africa's natural resources. So you've seen the advert out. We are mapping Africa's natural resources. And in this, good evening, in all these years, we've been looking at, if you are patient enough to go through my timeline on Instagram and on Facebook, you will see previous episodes of the Mentor Show where we are tackling mapping Africa's natural resources. So on the days on the Mentor Show where we don't have guests, we do what this that we are doing tonight. And one of the key things, if you're here tonight or watching a replay of this, that I always ask you, the question I want you to answer, you might not need to answer me, but which I want to answer is, have you discovered the reason why you were born? Have you found out the reason why you were born? Because you were born for a purpose and for a reason. And it's important that you discover, know the reason why you exist. Why were you born? And that's what this mapping Africa's natural resources is underpinned by. That there are natural resources in Africa, abundant natural resources. However, there are challenges. We are in penury, so to speak. We're going to look at the nation, we're looking at nation 29 today, which is Madagascar. We're looking at Madagascar today. In the space of all these years, we've looked at various countries: Algeria, Angola, Benin, Burkina Faso. We've looked at Burundi, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Central African Republic, Chad, Comoros, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Djibouti, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Gabon, Gambia. We've looked at Ghana, Guinea. We've looked at Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Lesotho, Liberia, Libya, and now Madagascar. For those of you on LinkedIn, so let's know where you're joining us from. And if you want to know the previous episodes, on LinkedIn, you can only see previous episodes from Kenya. Yeah, apologies. If you want to look at the previous episode from Nation 1 to 24, you go to my LinkedIn profile or to the YouTube profile or of African Coaching and Mentorship Initiative or to my Facebook profile. So tonight, we are focusing on Madagascar. This is Nation 29 that we are considering in this mapping of Africa's natural resources. So that's where we are at tonight. So let's go into it. So we are looking at Madagascar. Madagascar is a country, called Republic of Madagascar, and is based in, the southern part. It's an island. It's an island known as Republic of Madagascar. It's an island lying off the southeastern coast of Africa, and it is the world's fourth largest island and the second largest island country. So it is the 46th largest country in the world. So it's quite a sizable piece of land. And the headquarters of Madagascar is Antananarivo. And like I keep saying, the reason why we're looking at these countries right from the day one we started the first one is to present to you opportunity for you to scale up, if you like to use that terminology. Opportunity for you to be a solution provider to those challenges and to those problems in that country. And if we are not even from the country, the challenges that we have seen in Africa, some of the countries we've looked at in Africa, is same all over. And young people on the continent and anywhere in the world who are from the continent, we are the solution. And we must continue to discuss, we must continue to think of how to be the solution. And that's why I asked the question earlier. Have you discovered the problem you were born to solve? For me as a person, I believe strongly, and that's why we did come in every Tuesday, where I was created to solve the problem of ignorance. I was created to solve the problem, to tackle the problem of ignorance. And it's more of the reason why we come your way every Tuesday, either with guests or with looking at these nations and look at how we can be a solution to this nation. So the population, this particular nation, Republic of Madagascar, was colonized by France. This particular nation was colonized by France, and it has series of ethnic, the language, official language is Malagasy and French, because it was colonized by France. And of course the ethnic groups, we have the Merina, the Betsimisiraka, Betsileo, Simiheti, Sakalava, Antaisaka, Antadroy, and others. Different groups. Of course, the largest religion here is Christianity. The largest is Christianity. And they do have a prime minister in this particular country. And the country was formed around, the kingdom was formed around 1540. 1540. But the French colony came in on the 6th of August, 1896. That was when the French took over. But it became a republic or gained independence on the 14th of October, 1958. So the country will be heading to want to do maybe an Independence Day, just like my country, Nigeria, did their own independence on the 1st of October this month. Yeah. Actually, they declared independence on the 26th of June, 1960. So just like Nigeria also, they will be forming, celebrating their independence, 63rd independence, on the 26th of June. So they would have done that June earlier this year. The landmass of this country is about 500 87,441 kilometers. And we have extensive land. Don't forget, it's an island. An island that has water all around it. The population of so the population of this country is, as of 2021, is 28.92 million. As of 2021, 28.92 million. Now, when you break that population down, when you break that population down, when you break that population down, you see that some even argue that currently it has gotten to 30 million. So 40% of the population is urban, while the rest is in the rural. So the median age is 19.3. This goes back to tell you, we've been saying something about Africa. Africa is a young continent. Africa is a young continent. What do we mean? We mean that the over 60% of young people on the continent of Africa are under the age of 25. Are under the age of 25. And that's why we keep coming on this show to bring it to your knowledge. Now, those young people will need to be schooled. They need to be educated. They need to be clothed. They need, a lot of. So the point we're saying here is that we're not actually looking at the challenges on the continent of Africa from the perspective of just complaining and grumbling, but rather look at it from the perspective of opportunity. Opportunity, either as investment opportunity, either as innovation opportunity, that you can discover why you were born. It was interesting that yesterday on the news it was mentioned that a new medication, a new drug was found for solution to tackle malaria. And malaria is prevalent on the continent of Africa. That drug the breakthrough was discovered in Oxford, here in the UK. But the point is, why we are celebrating that, is that we need more young people from the continent of Africa to, when I come to the issue of the health, when we look at the health in Madagascar, would address that. Let me not jump ahead of myself. So that's Madagascar for you. Madagascar, so they are more attuned to look more like Asian than even Africans because of their ancestry part. All right, great. So now let's move to the natural resources. Don't forget what we're looking at. What are the natural resources for Madagascar? Madagascar, good evening, Tracy. How is Germany today? So what are the natural resources of Madagascar? There's quite a good number of materials, resources in Madagascar. You have graphite, you have chromite, you have coal in Madagascar. There is bauxite, there is salt quartz, there is tar sand, there is semi-precious stones, there is mica, there is fish, and of course there is hydropower because it's an island. It's an island. And this country, have diverse kind of resources, water, and things like that. and there's some special things or animals. In fact, it's been said that based on the natural resources of Madagascar, 5% of those rare species of animals across the world are domiciled on this particular country of Madagascar. Can you imagine 5% of rare animals? You can find them in Madagascar. So it's a good place. And one of the interesting things I found out that those big baobab trees are unique. They're not found anywhere in the world. You can also find them in Madagascar. It's quite interesting. And also the llama. You remember the llama animal also is a special species that can only be found in this country called Madagascar. So again, go back to the point we're saying. There are opportunities. All these countries are looking at, there are opportunities for you, opportunities for investments, opportunity for innovation. Again, I ask the question, have you discovered the reason why you were born? So if you studied pharmacy, for example, I assume that part of why you were born and you studied pharmacy is to be a solution provider of providing innovative products or medicine that could tackle all the challenges we have on earth, particularly even on the continent of Africa. Because the young people are the solution to the challenges, to the problems we have on the continent of Africa. So if you don't discover the reason why you were born, do you get it? So it's important. We cannot overestimate or underestimate this issue that you need to know why you were born. And that is the reason why we keep showing up every Tuesday on the Mentors Show. To bring into your psychology, into your psyche, the need for you to discover why you were born. Now let's look at, apart from the mineral resources, let's look at the agriculture. Like I mentioned earlier, there are smallholders of agriculture in this country, and there are different livestock. Rice is the main export. Rice is the main export of this country. Of course, they do have the livestock. Bukola Flo, good evening. They have livestock, and they have this particular camel that has 2 haunches. The Zebu cattle. Of course, they have pigs, sheep, and poultry. They also raise those there. Aside from rice, they have cassava, corn, sweet potato, coffee, cloves, vanilla, and other cash crops are exported. In fact, it is said that they provided the highest number of vanilla to the world. Madagascar provides the highest number of vanilla to the world. So vanilla is ice cream, there's flavor and everything. So we could see this particular country, Madagascar, is providing a lot of things to the world. When it comes to the issue of different kind of woods, they have timber also. Mahogany, ebony, rosewood are also available in this particular country. So they produce also sugarcane. They produce pineapple, beans, orange, coconuts, potato, taro, mango, banana, vegetable, sweet potato, cassava, sugarcane, and rice. So quite a good a nation that is doing a lot in agriculture. And that takes us to, like we've seen in some other nations, like Benin Republic, when we look at Benin Republic, and other nations that were just doing subsistence agriculture. We need people, young people, to develop tractor, to be able to develop mechanized, turn these things to mechanized farming. Tractor, like the young man Benny Cars, who came to this show, who is doing in Jos, Nigeria, manufacturing tractor, manufacture all these agricultural inputs. We also need scientists that will do research, that will be able to help, fight the issue of drought in the continent of Africa, fight the issue of climate change, resistance and resilience of plant materials on seeds that will withstand all these challenges that are coming. So there are lots of opportunities, lots and lots and lots of opportunities. There's also, like I mentioned, coffee, clove, cocoa, cashew, which is made in this country of Madagascar. Now, when it comes to still under that aspect, there's still the aspect of farming. Apart from farming, there's fishing and forestry, which is the backbone of the economy of the. As an estimated 4 in 5 people in Madagascar, mostly sustainable farmers, rely on agriculture for their livelihood. So you could see subsistence is coming to the fore again. How much can one do with cutlass and hoe? How much? And that is why there's a need for mechanized farming on the continent to increase the food production for the people on the continent and of course across the world. So, and you and I are part of the solution, and that's what we are saying on this show. You are part of that solution. Now, when we move away from, we look at the natural resources, we've looked at the agriculture. Now, let's look at the health sector in Madagascar. Over 60% of Madagascar people live in more than 5 kilometers from a health center, often in very remote and difficult to reach areas without roads or communication. So health personnel are unevenly distributed in the nation. Drug and medication supplies are prone to stockouts and are unavailable in some areas. So administration of the public health system is weak and growing weaker. Development is undermined by high rates of illiteracy, gender inequality, and economic disparity. So, if you look at this nation, part of the challenges that we have there is malaria, maternal and child and mortality, sexually transmitted diseases, including AIDS and HIV, the issues of need of reproductive health. So you could see the challenges across the continent of Africa when it comes to the issue of health are similar, isn't it? But we need people to come up with solutions, to do research, to be passionate about solving these grand problems and bringing succor to the people on the continent of Africa. So you could see there's a challenge of health. There's a challenge of health. They said it's indicated that there's outbreak of plagues could be seasonal during the rainy season, even in Madagascar. So, and these are opportunities for medical personnel to develop solutions, practical solutions to these so-called challenges. The literacy rate, like it was alluded earlier, is 77.2, which is quite good to some extent. In 2021, adult literacy rate for Madagascar was 77.25, adult literacy rate increased from 58.94 in 2005 to 77.25 in 2021, growing at an average rate of 7.07, which will sound good. But the increase in literacy should lead to development for the nation. The increase in literacy should lead to development in this particular nation. All right. So the point we're making is that there are opportunities in Madagascar. There are opportunities in this country. And every young person listening to me, you are part of the solution. Even if you say you are an adult, you are part of the solution. You can bring money to solve the problem on the continent of Africa. In each nation. If I say, okay, I'm not from Madagascar. Yes, look at your own nation. Look at the nation you came from. Look at the nation you came from and look at the peculiar challenges in that nation and see what can you do. How can you help to solve the problem? If you highlight the various challenges on the continent, like I mentioned today, health, agriculture, literacy, education, the issue of natural resources, those natural resources also need to be brought out and processed well. Those agricultural products that we mentioned earlier also need to be processed, like cocoa and everything, on the continent, not be taken to developed world and brought back, and which you are now paying high for. These are opportunities. Opportunities in the country of Madagascar that you and I can invest in to bring a change. So it's important. Have you discovered the problem you were born to solve? Have you set out to begin to solve that problem? It is important that you step up and do something today. There are challenges, like I was saying, as you walk around, don't walk around blind. Walk around seeing. Walk around seeing, don't walk around blind. Because these challenges and problems are everywhere. In any continent, where you are, even though we are focusing on Africa, on Madagascar today, anywhere you are located in the world, there are challenges and there are issues, and you can step up to the plate to solve those problems, to tackle those problems, and to bring solution and succor to the categories of people that you're going to be focusing on. So, I think that's where we're going to draw the curtain for today. Thank you for those of you commenting on LinkedIn and those of you sharing. Again, have you discovered the problem you were born to solve? Discover it. Step up and begin to do something. So, thank you very much. That is all done for Nation 29. It's still a long way. We still have a long way to go, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So, I'll come your way again next week on the Mentor Show. We have a guest coming on the show. You will be so inspired by this guest's story. Don't miss next week. For our audience on Facebook at Olushola Jide Facebook, thank you. Our audience on LinkedIn, thank you. So join us every Tuesday, our audience on YouTube at Africa Coaching and Mentorship Initiative. Thank you. And of course on Instagram. Thank you for all those who have been passed by tonight. So we'll see you again next week, Tuesday, by the grace of God. Bye.